Canadian Crops Convention got underway in Edmonton on Wednesday, with stakeholders from across the grain industry gathering under the shadow of U.S. tariffs and market uncertainty. Canada Grains Council President Erin Gowriluk said the event is an important gathering for the industry in a time when collaboration is key.
I think that, given the challenges that the industry is currently facing and the impact that, in particular, the tariffs are going to have on the industry, I can't imagine a better place to be than where we are right now. It's fantastic to bring the entire grain sector together to have those conversations and observe what's happening and react to what's happening in real time.
On Wednesday, Gowriluk spoke alongside representatives from Mexico and the United States on a panel on cross-border perspectives, where much of the conversation circled around U.S. tariffs. She said it's important to keep the tariff conversation pointed towards bringing the industry together.
Well, I think there's an absolute preoccupation with it, and rightfully so this week, because we're watching everything change before our eyes. But I think the one thing that I've noticed in the conversations that we've been having as a result of the tariffs is we're talking more about how to bring the industry together, both within Canada, but as we saw more recently with the panel that I had an opportunity to participate in with my Mexican and American colleagues, it's about how are we going to work together more closely as an industry and respond as an industry. We can't control what Trump is ultimately going to do. We can't control the tariffs, but what we can control is our response to them. And so I think the one biggest takeaway, in my view, from that trilateral or trinational conversation, if you will, was from an industry perspective, we have the key ingredients. There's absolutely a willingness on the part of Canadian, Mexican, and American associations and organizations to come together. And the other key component is we are aligned as associations in terms of the impact that the tariffs and other issues are going to have on the industry. So the more that we can maintain that alignment and continue to have the conversations, I think it's going to make our industry stronger than ever before.
Navigating our future is the theme of this year's convention, a fitting focus for an unpredictable time.
I think the focus of this year's conference, the emphasis has always been largely on international trade and topics related to that, and how to make the sector more innovative, more competitive, and more profitable. And that theme continues. But, we could not have imagined, 6 or 8 months ago when we looked to determine what this year's theme would be, which was taking a different approach and really focusing on the North American market specifically. And we did that in anticipation of the CUSMA or USMCA review in 2026, but who knew that we would be facing many of the challenges that we are. So I think the fact that we have a focus in particular on trade both within North America, but historically the work that we've done together with in particular with our American allies and colleagues internationally. We have always been like-minded allies in the international community with respect to the importance of trade, the important role that innovation, for example, plays in our industry. When you have other jurisdictions around the world who have different views in terms of how we might approach this, we've historically been allies with the United States, especially on issues related to innovation. So I'm very happy that this conversation, that this convention at this time is going to facilitate the continuation of those important conversations.
Convention will wrap up on Thursday after a fireside chat with former Prime Minister Stephen Harper. For the Western Producer, this is Zach McLaughlin reporting from the Canadian Crops Convention in Edmonton.